And now, Brandon Thick Boy Schaub.
Hey, yo, Monday, September 15th, coming in hot. September's flying by, kids. September's flying by. Parents, how you doing, man? Kiddo sports starting up. School's in the swing of things. I get it. We're glorified Uber drivers. I get it. Your boy's looking tan, reddish. My red turns into tan. I'll be full-blown Apache Indian by the end of this month. I'm outside literally all day Saturday, all day Sunday. Travel ball, man. Travel ball. Got to the fields in Dripping Springs. We got to the field at... You had to be on the field at 8, so we left the house around 7. So I was out in the sun from about 8 to 4.
You look
both
a little
days.
darker, yeah.
Yeah, all day, dude. I love it though. I love it. Nothing better, man. Yeah, nothing will drain you like being out in the sun. I'm good though, baby. Energy's good. Trying to get my calories in on the road out there in travel ball life. Everything's good though, dude. Everything's good. Saturday, when you're out in the sun all day, and then my neighbors threw a straight up fiesta for the Canelo Terrence Crawford fight. Oh, yeah. When I say fiesta, I'm talking authentic mariachis, which my wife and mother-in-law are obsessed with. These mariachis were there 2 hours. As a gringo, as a white boy, after about 15 minutes, I'm all set on mariachi. Mexicans are not. They enjoyed the entire 2 hours. The problem is mariachi. I don't know for you whites out there, if you've never had mariachis, they're loud.
Yeah.
Loud. And I couldn't hear anything as the fights and football was going on. So I asked them to put on the subtitles. And that was my night for literally 2 hours. But it was fun. Here's the thing, though. With boxing, it's not the UFC, right? UFC, let's say they go, all right, card starts at main card. Even prelims, we'll stick with main card to make it easy. Main card starts at 8 p.m. Central Time. There's about 5 to 10 minutes, and then the fighters are in the ring. From the cage walk, the build-up, about 10 minutes usually, and then you're off to the races, and what you're tuning in for starts, and you're seeing two guys fight, and that's why you tuned in at 8 o'clock. In boxing, I looked it up. So my neighbor goes, yo, man, party starts at 7. I went, oh, interesting. So you're going to do, you're going to have the party all throughout the entire card. And he goes, sure am. And he goes, Canelo and Terrence Crawford, if you look online, it says they're going to walk at 10 o'clock Central Time. And I said, yep, but it's boxing, so there's no way they walk at 10. I would assume it's going to be a little later because boxing. Now, Dana, leading up to this Crawford-Canelo fight, his gripes with boxing is the pacing of the broadcast and all the shit that they do. And obviously, you know, on all these other promotions, it's a bit of a shit show. They have dancing, they have singing, they keep throwing it back to the desk and the broadcasters, and it's terrible. It's terrible. It's awful. And so Dana's whole issue is now that I'm involved in boxing, it's gonna be a different product, and the pacing's gonna be better. And he's notoriously, to quote him, said, yeah, they basically do a podcast in between the fights or building up to the fights. And I'm like, yes, get him, Dana. That's what I'm talking about. Thank God TKO's in boxing. Here we go. He's going to change the face of boxing. And then you realize that Ali Ashik, or whatever the hell his name is, the Turkey Ashik, the guy who basically owns the world. He has all the money in the world and does whatever he wants. It was like very cool, but it's boxing. We're going to do it my way. You realize Dana and his team don't have as much power as they thought because that was the exact same product we're always used to. The pacing was awful. The undercard was awful. There was one good fight. That one that went to a draw, that was a good fight. Callum Walsh fight was, It's like a glorified sparring match. And then they had Tool, who I'm a huge fan of Tool. I love Tool. Randomly, without the lead singer, just play a riff before the fight. And you're like, what is going on here? Yeah. It was just strange. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. So I left the party because they didn't walk out till almost 11:30, 11:45. I want to say here Central Time. So I was like, I'm exhausted. Usually in bed by 9. So I leave the party. The whole family left the party, and we went back and we tried staying up and watching it. I fell asleep rounds 3 through 7. The entire family fell asleep, and I woke back up. And then obviously on Sunday I rewatched the rounds, but I was out, dude. I was out. But boxing just has a way of doing things, this old school way. It's one of the reasons why it's a dying sport, not to mention their star power is an insane issue, especially with Canelo losing, who was the face of boxing. He was the golden boy for boxing. So with him kind of on his way out, Usyk's on his way out, Fury's done, Joshua's done, Gervonta Davis fighting Jake Paul. Boxing's in a weird place. And this isn't a boxing versus MMA thing and any of that shit. It's just, it is what it is. It's just in a really weird spot. And I think people are going to make comparisons. Now, the UFC gave you a pretty light card. That UFC Noche is whatever. It's not our best foot forward. But just going off, undercards, we destroyed boxing and destroyed them. That undercard destroyed whatever product that Netflix put out. Destroyed. But if it just as far as entertainment-wise and value-wise and pacing and excitement. But if you compare the main events, if you took 2 casuals and you showed them Lopez and Silva, Diego Lopez and Silva. You show them that fight, then you show them Canelo Crawford, and you say, which one did you have more fun watching? Mm-hmm. There's probably not a person on earth that would choose Crawford Canelo. You wouldn't. You wouldn't. It just is what it is.
My buddy literally texted me. He goes, dude, this is a boring ass fight. He's a casual though.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if you're a hardcore fan of boxing, there's a lot of technique and the game plan and what Crawford did and the odds he was up against. It was brilliant. One of the best performances ever. Yeah, I enjoy it. It was more of a case of Canelo just couldn't find the timing. I think Terrence Crawford was better than he expected. Canelo's also a little older, even though age-wise, Terrence Crawford on paper is older, just boxing miles, Canelo looked a little older, but he just got kind of outboxed. He got lit up. And one of the issues that boxing has is I love Max Kellerman. I love him. He's great at his job. He's one of the very best, and he's one of the best voices in boxing. I absolutely, adore Max Kellerman. Part of his issue is he was so committed to the narrative that Canelo, if he lands, Terrence Crawford would be in trouble. It kind of put blinders on to what was actually happening. It just kind of, it gave him a biased analytical view of what was actually going on, because the fight wasn't that close. Like, Canelo didn't get dog walked, but he never had his moment in the fight. There was just never a moment where you're like, okay, here it comes. And my prediction was Canelo's going to struggle the first 4 to 6 rounds with the speed and the movement of Terrence. Then he's going to download that data, and he's the bigger, stronger fighter, and he's going to go to work and win by decision. Never happened. He never downloaded the data. Even if he did, it didn't matter. He didn't have the skill set to capitalize on it. And Terrence Crawford's so goddamn good and fought southpaw and was just lighting him up. He was just lighting him up. I was never worried that Terrence was going to knock him down or knock him out. I didn't think there was a chance in hell he could finish Canelo. Canelo's never been knocked down and has fought bigger guys, Bivol and, those other cats that he's fought that are Triple G 3 times, and if those guys aren't sitting him down, Terrence Crawford's not going to sit him down. but he just kind of stayed outside, picked them apart. And then even when they were down to, sit there in the middle of the ring and kind of go toe to toe, Terrence was just eating him up. So you didn't get that entertaining of a fight out of Canelo. He never adjusted because I don't think he could. That's how good Terrence Crawford is. But if you listen to the commentating, Andre Ward was on point with his. He was like, Terrence Crawford's earning the respect. He's landing the shots. It's a respect thing for him. And Max Kellerman just had these blinders on. And then he was shilling for Dana White in the UFC. It was kind of cringy.
Yeah.
It was kind of uncalled for, like even at the press conference.
Oh, yeah.
Like it had nothing to do with it. He was like, real quick, we all wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the greatest promoters. Like, okay. Now here's my thing on that is he sucked them off hard. He fully swallowed that glizzy, that Dana White glizzy. I don't like it, but I understand why he does it, because let's say Max Kellerman went hard in the paint and brought up fighter pay and how boxing's better than the UFC and how boxing's been killing it. We don't need Dana White and all this stuff. Whether that's true or not, whether you agree with that, it's whatever. But that's the narrative, right? If Max Kellerman brings any of that up in the next fight, TKO, this lord in the Middle East who runs the entire fucking show now that makes the fights happen, right? If Max Kellerman gets booted from that, where would you go? Where would you go? Max Kellerman's not going to do Jake Paul, Javante. I'm sure he doesn't mind it, but he's a real boxing head. Like he wants to be involved, and he's been involved in the biggest boxing fights in history, the biggest. So for him, it's like if you don't glizzy Dana White, swallow that glizzy, you're probably gonna be out of a job, and he's probably getting paid pretty handsomely, and he's with these historic events. So I'm like, I get it, because you don't want to be like me or Luke Thomas or Ariel or these other guys who, it's not even, we don't hate on it, we just speak facts or truth or have our opinions, which I'm a little more on the UFC side, but I'll give them shit. And Luke and Ariel, they do their things and they're actual journalists, so listen to them. But I'll see if I see bullshit, I'll call bullshit. I don't get paid by the UFC. I don't get paid by TKO. Max does. So maybe he's doing the right thing. He's in their good graces and he's collecting a fucking truck ton of money. So that's why you would do it. It was just a little cringy. And then when he went into the ring in the post-fight interviews, it didn't seem like he had his shit ready to go. He was like waiting, and then I don't know. It was just a weird vibe. There's usually it's like, how you feeling after the win, game plan, reaction. There's a cadence that all the guys have. Now, it could be what I was thinking, maybe somebody's in his ear and he's waiting for that and he couldn't hear it. So there's a technical issue there, but it happened every time, it's a little strange. But boxing's going to box. That's what that was. The entire main card was all decisions. It's boxing. Callum Walsh, he didn't go out on a shield. It was more of a sparring match. It's boxing, It's very rare at a guy at Terrence Crawford's level, Canelo's level, and this is what I'm always scared of when you get these super fights. They're not going to tarnish their legacy by risking a knockout. They're just not. They'd rather take calculated measurements, and if they lose, it's by decision, because they don't want to be a highlight of the guy they're fighting for the rest of their career, and it tarnishes their legacy. So I always worry when you have these two legends, Terrence Crawford and Canelo, that are they really going to risk it all at this level? And Canelo's made $100 million, they said. Now the word is Terrence made $10 million. I'm not buying that in any facet. For Terrence, and he even, if you see him in the post fight press conferences, he gives Canelo his belt back, that historic ring belt back. And he goes, I'll see you in the rematch. And Canelo goes, yes. Now that's where Terrence Crawford's going to make all his money. Nothing will change, and he's going to beat Canelo probably worse in the rematch. But that's for Terrence Crawford, that's the only fight. And then probably retire. for Max too, pushing the narrative like, and I love Canelo, right? My fucking family adores him, so I can't even say this in the house. So I'm gonna say it to you guys. Max is saying that Canelo, you know, this is why we love you. You take on all comers. You never, you know, you never turn anybody down. It's like, that's not true. Benavidez has been sitting out there for years. For years. Benavidez would beat both of them. And he's a lot bigger, and he's even got up a weight class. But it's like, well, no, that's not true. Because if that was true, he'd have fought Benavidez. And then, you know, Canelo's last like 4 to 7 fights have been kind of cakewalks. You know, he hasn't fought the who's who. So that's not really the narrative. But he's also earned that ability to turn down, like, you know, since he lost to Bivol, he fought Gennady Golovkin the third time. That was, you know, he waited a hot second for that trilogy. John Ryder, Charlo, you know, all decisions. Like he's kind of coasted it. So he really wasn't pushing himself. He didn't really have to dig deep in those fights. He's so talented. He can get by, you know, just winning rounds on those guys. So he never had to dig deep. And then you jump up to a guy like Terrence Crawford, and buddy, you're talking night and day difference between his last, was that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fights, you know? So I don't know where either of them goes besides the rematch. And then they're probably both done. They're probably both done after this. And that's where they'll make their money. And then outside this, you know, the boxing experts are like, oh, there's so, like, even when I was like, name another, when I was on the Jackson podcast, I go, this is the problem with boxing. Name another fighter on the undercard. Everyone's like, Callum Walsh. Yes, I'm familiar with him. I know who he is. I'm saying for the casuals, name another fucking fighter on the card. Fernando Vargas Jr., sure, and he's good, but I'm talking like a big deal, dude. That's the problem with boxing. And I thought by TKO being involved, they would take a page out of their book, which made the UFC bigger than boxing, but they didn't. They give the same bullshit, and that's the issue with boxing. But take out Terrence Crawford and Canelo rematch. Take that out of the equation. What other big fight are you guys waiting for? Go. I'll tell you what you're going to wait for. The next big boxing fight, and this is going to hurt your feelings, is going to be Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis. And that's the state of boxing. That's what happens when you don't have actual stars, is the Jake Pauls of the world come in and they're stealing your shine. They're stealing your numbers. That's what's going to happen. And it's not a knock on Jake Paul. It's, you know, that's the state of boxing. UFC doesn't have to do that bullshit. We have so many contenders, so many champions. Now, you could argue that you don't have major stars, sure, but we, you know, the ranking systems of 1 through 15, there's some pretty good names in there in a lot of the divisions. Heavyweights, sad right now. Strawweight women's is a fucking disaster. But for the most part, we have enough guys where we can create appealing cards from top to bottom. Boxing does not. If you were to put on like a UFC 300 to do a boxing version of their 300, who would you even put on? And you're out of your mind if you don't include Jake Paul in order to get those major eyeballs. That's the state of boxing. The pacing was fucking atrocious. And how dare you? Whoever paid Tool to do that, good for Tool for getting paid, but what? They just did a weird, like, we're waiting for the fight to start and you just see the drummer just and you're like, okay, cool, there's Tool.
Part of Tool.
It made no sense without the lead singer. You're like, what is this? The fuck is this? And then have you seen the picture of Dana, Mr. Beat, and Jason Statham, and the guy who basically owns fucking Abu Dhabi? They look so miserable. They're so bored. Yeah. Because you sat there, as we did too, and I had mariachis blasting my fucking ear. You sat there from 7 o'clock to 1 o'clock. You sat there for 5 to 6. Look at them. Miserable. There's more money between the four of those gentlemen than 99.9% of the world. There's so much fucking money there. Jason Statham is the poorest one out of the four. By far. Mr. Beast, rich as fuck.
Yeah.
Dana looks bored to tears. He's like, God damn it.
And there's also a video of them all, like Jason, Mr. Beast, and Turkey just kind of like having fun. Dana's still like...
Yeah, because Dana's like,
Howdy.
oh, fuck, dude. UFC Noche was way better, more exciting than this. Dana White Contender Series is more entertaining than this. Again, I'm biased. I like MMA, but for me, it's more entertaining. Why Mr. Beast is there, I don't know. I have no fucking clue. What, Jason Statham, are they doing a movie together or some shit? Did they shoot a YouTube fucking short together? It was such a random pairing, and Dana's so pissed. Yeah, he's sitting next to those three. He's like, fuck, dude. He's probably thinking about Power Slap. It's just the whole thing was weird. Why Mr. Beast is there, I don't know.
But how do you fix that pacing option or that pacing problem then?
You get it going. Boom. And then remember, it's also all those fights were 10 to 12 rounds too. That's the other issue. So get it fucking going. And then also you put on more compelling fights that people are familiar with. The casuals. You put on things that people care about. Dana's sitting there for 6-7 hours. The fuck? Yeah, he's miserable. There's no way those chairs are comfortable. Then you're next to Mr. fucking Beast, and this guy, you know, he what's his name?
Turkey Al Sheik.
Turkey. What the fuck's he talking about? Jason Statham's like, I don't even know why I'm here.
Money.
Yeah, I guess you paid Jason Statham to sit next to you because you liked him in fucking
Transporter.
Sure. I was gonna say, what's that shark movie? Megalodon or whatever. The Meg.
Meg, yes.
He probably loved him in Meg too. And then Mr. Beast is random as fuck.
That one's a trip, yeah. Unless he's working on some sort of project for his YouTube channel. Who knows?
The whole thing's weird. Let's go to UFC Noches.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Let's take a little break here, kids, and we'll jump right back in this juicy ass episode of the Schaub Show. Listen, when I started this podcast, it seemed like I had to figure it all out on my own. Me and Chin really set up our own script, set up filming schedule, logos, all sorts of stuff. It was super overwhelming. Every day seemed to introduce a new decision that needed an answer. When you're starting off with something new, it seems like your to-do list keeps on growing every freaking day with new tasks, and that list can easily begin to overrun your life, become consumed with it. It takes the fun out of the job. Finding the right tool that not only helps you out, but simplifies everything can be such a freaking game changer. For millions of businesses, that tool is Shopify. Cha-ching! Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world. 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S. from household names like Mattel, Gymshark, to brands just getting started like Drive Fast All Gas. We use Shopify. They're fantastic. All right. So get the word out like you have a marketing team behind you. Easily create email and social media campaigns whenever your customers are scrolling or strolling. And best yet, Shopify is your commerce expert with world-class expertise in everything from managing inventory to international shipping to processing returns and beyond. So if you're ready to sell, you're ready for Shopify. Turn your big business idea into cha-ching with Shopify on your side. Sign up for your $1 per month trial. Start selling today at shopify.com/Schaub, all lowercase, Schaub, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Schaub, all lowercase. Cha-ching. Tatiana Suarez, the women's strawweight is just in shambles. Tatiana Suarez, I thought she was going to be the next Khabib. She just doesn't have the finishing power. At least she got a win.
Yeah.
At least she got a win. Kelvin Gastelum, I don't know what you do. I don't know what you. The number one thing in the UFC, the big no-no is don't miss weight. Yeah. You can hit your wife. You can fucking run into people in car accidents. You can evade the scene. You can do you can throw fucking dollies into buses. All good. We can market that. The one thing you cannot do in the UFC, everybody knows this, you can't fucking miss weight, dude. You can't. Kelvin goes, whatever. I'm going to start a food truck show called Missing Weight. It's kind of his thing. It's also hilarious. But the other thing that's funny is he misses weight and like, the UFC is going to cut him. And then he wins.
That's the problem.
He's just good at fighting. He has the skill set and the chin to be a world champion. He's that fucking good. Kelvin Gastelum's that good. He's hilarious. He's that fucking good. He just doesn't have the discipline to be a world champion. Big difference. Yeah, I mean, because if he would have lost, I think UFC would have cut him, especially after this. I don't know how much left in the tank, but he won. So they're like, fuck, dude. Yeah. You know? Yeah, and then with Diego Lopez Silva, you know, I'm pretty sure I predicted it last week. You know, I was taking Diego Lopez. I always bet on the guy whose strength of schedule and experience is better than, even if it's some young lion who's coming up, unless they're like a John Jones, which Silva's not. I always pick the guy who's battle tested because I can bank on him. I just know when the going gets rough, he's not going to back down. There's no quit. And for Diego Lopez, you look at his strength of schedule, you look at his resume compared to Silva's, it's like, hold up, and this is a main event on UFC Noche? Mm-hmm. So he lost to the great Alexander Volkanovski. Okay.
Of course.
And then his first fight, he fought Movsar Evloev. Okay. And it was fight of the night, his first fucking fight. So he's fought Movsar, the number one guy in his division. He fought Alexander, the GOAT. But outside that, he doesn't lose. He does not lose. He beat Ortega, Dan Ige. He's beat some tough fucking dudes. So I just look at his strength of schedule. You know, fighting Volkanovski was just too much too soon for him. All good. Still a good fight. But John Silva, you go to his wins, and his best win was Bryce Mitchell, a straight up grappler, and that was a disciplined fight for Bryce Mitchell. You know, so and he's exciting to watch. But there's a difference between being exciting and then being world-class championship level. And I think Diego Lopez has that skill set, and he has the discipline to compete in the top three. Silva's just not there yet, and what I saw on him getting dominated, especially in that first round, and then come out in the second round with this sloppy technique, that's just not going to get it done. And with the fighting nerds, everyone wants to jump on top right now. That camp's still badass. The camp's badass. They're probably sitting around today going, okay, there's a skill gap, especially when they get to the upper echelon guys. So there's a skill gap between their fighters and the tip of the spear guys. All good. There's skill gap. We can work on that, especially with the grappling, right? Like the grappling's has with Hoofy and all that, and Diego. So there seems to be an issue with the grappling department. Okay. Their issue is it doesn't seem like, and they've said this in interviews, it doesn't seem like they're sticking to a game plan.
Yep.
It seems like they're going out there and winging it. And that will work when you're on the prelims and maybe you're the first or third fight on the main event. That stuff will work where you're so talented you can wing it and get away with it. Then eventually you get to the top 10 where you have to have a calculated game plan because everybody's pretty fucking good. And that's the issue they run into. So the camp still is badass, and the success they had is awesome. And anyone cheering for their failure is a fucking loser. But that squad, that nerd camp, they need to reinvent themselves, and you got to be professional and stick to a game plan. Otherwise, you're going to keep losing, unless the UFC keeps giving you cupcake matchups. But all of them at a level now where those days are over. Now you're running with the big boys, and now this is where the train stops. And you got to fight like professionals. You're not just going to get away with being super athletic and throwing on conventional shit and being aggressive. You're going to keep losing fights if you don't adjust. So it's been fun, but now it's time to get serious. That's the way I look at the fight nerds. It's been fun, but now it's time to be a professional.
He did put blame on himself as well. He said his team gave him instructions. He just went into fight mode and just didn't listen to them.
And you'll never
It's on
win.
him. Yeah.
You might get lucky here and there, but overall, like having a long, consistent winning career, it will never work out at that level. When you're fighting the Diego Lopez of the world and even Mosarv and those other boys and Alexander, it will never fucking happen for you.
Yeah.
So you have to adapt.
Have you ever gone against your coaches and just saw
Yep.
in the
Ben
tunnel?
Rothwell, the plan was to drag him in later rounds, and I literally just went batshit crazy. Yeah, but most of the fights I lost. Ben Rothwell is the one that comes to mind. Who else? I abandoned the game plan in the third round against Gabriel Gonzaga because I was up by so much. I was beating the brakes off him. I was like, I'm just going to take him down. He fancied himself a jiu-jitsu guy. Check this out. And they're like, what the fuck are you doing? That's just me being a knucklehead and young.
Well, sometimes it works then.
Yeah, but I took him down there, like, and he almost took my back. And they're like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, you're right." And then I went back to the game plan and just kept beating his ass. The Nogueira stuff, that it's just, dude, I didn't stick to the game plan.
What about Travis?
Travis Brown, he was. It's not that I didn't stick to the game plan. I honestly, in that fight, he was much bigger than I expected. I really didn't know what to do. I didn't. His stance was wider. In hindsight, I probably should have been kicking and taking out his legs, but it wasn't really what I do. I should have been running the pipe and went for the single leg instead of faking a double and coming up top because he was able to study that on film and knew that was coming. That's how he landed the uppercut. There's a number of things I should have done. Number of things. His size was an issue. He was bigger than I thought.
But for the most part, you did follow the game plan. It's just he just came out.
To be honest, it was a bad game plan.
Oh.
It was a bad game plan against him. Yeah, really bad game plan. There should have been things I should have done and knew he had the footage. He knew the game plan. He knew the game plan. He knew he had people in his camp who were familiar with what I did, and what I was working on. So it was a bad game plan. There's other things I should have done that fight to make it more competitive. And that's why he landed the uppercut. He knew exactly what I was going to do. There's a number of things I could have done different in that fight. Yeah, fighting nerds would be okay. They just have to take a more professional approach.
Yeah. It's cool that he actually notices it too. He's like, yeah, I should have listened to my coaches.
Yeah, that's a super positive sign. Yeah. That means he's aware of it and they can make the adjustments. I'm rooting for him. What else you got, brother?
Okay. Yeah, nothing else really sticks out
No.
as far as this fight card.
No. That was compared to the last UFC Noches, this was,
this and plus it wasn't
Dana was even
to
there.
it.
Obviously he was in Vegas for TKO.
This is part of the glazing that you were talking about with Max Kellerman, and then this is Canelo kind of like putting Max Kellerman in his place, sorta, but I'll just play the clip for you.
I love it because Terrence Crawford co-signs it too. He's like, yeah, what the fuck you talking about?
Dana White is the greatest combat sports promoter
This is true.
in my lifetime. He
Ever.
built an institution. You know why boxing's not as popular as it used to be anymore, right? UFC is really popular. That's because of Dana White. He built something like the NBA. Stop now, because he's about to do it for boxing again. For boxing now. You want an NBA or an NFL in boxing?
Not
Here it
really.
comes. Because he
No.
knows how to build an institution. And how do you do that?
Hey, Max. Boxing is always bigger and bigger and bigger. Don't say boxing is not big enough. Boxing is big. You know how big it is.
He goes, I love when Canelo speaks English.
Yes or no? Should it get bigger, Canelo?
Maybe it's gonna be bigger, but look, boxing is always big and big and bigger and bigger and bigger. We need to talk about that too. Boxing is boxing.
I love Canelo in English, by the way. I love
Boxing
it.
is boxing.
I love Canelo in English. What?
How do you do it?
Position there.
So how do you do it?
Crawford goes facts.
You have someone like
My respect for all of their sport. Great job, everything, but boxing is boxing.
and
Yeah, there's more boxing fans in the world than MMA. You need stars, and they just gotta, they have an issue with too many promotion stuff like that. But when it's a major, like when they have a star, when they had Floyd, they have these big boys, these big pay-per-view draws. I mean, they're consistently killing us in pay-per-view numbers.
Yeah, I think when it comes to especially casuals, which is the majority of the fan base for anything, they buy pay-per-views,
Boxing's big.
boxing's big. Yeah,
Yeah.
Like my dad watches boxing.
Of course,
He doesn't know like UFC cards.
No, and UFC is dying in America. So.
Yeah, but I mean, so Kellerman did come off a little bit out of character. Like the glazing was pretty high on this one with Dana.
Yeah.
And he's in the full boxing crowd too, so it was kind of weird when he did that. But
Yeah, collect that check, dude.
all right, so this is remember how you always wanted reporters to actually ask the really hard hitting questions. So this guy actually did to Dana White, but at this press conference. So I'll play the clip.
Couple questions for Dana. Dana, this fight, as you said earlier in the week, is set to be the third highest gate in combat sports history, the second biggest gate you've promoted alongside Mayweather McGregor. The top 5 gates in combat sports history come in boxing, and they come in the last 10 years. So my question to you is, why then do you want to make sweeping changes to the Muhammad Ali Reform Act that is meant to protect fighters to bring about a business model that currently has your company already paid out $375 million in antitrust lawsuits and has 2 potential pending class action lawsuits on the way as well?
Well, this is obviously a long discussion. If you want to talk to me about that, set up an interview. This isn't about me and my business. It's about these 2 guys on Saturday night.
My follow-up, Dana. Earlier this week, the California State Athletic Commission had a hearing about TKO trying to bring those changes to the Ali Act, and it was postponed 3 months.
Listen, I get it. You want to showboat right now. Set up an interview with me if this is really what you want to talk about.
It's America, baby.
If you have
First
questions
Amendment.
for these 2, ask them and you can set up an interview with me.
Dana, my follow-up is, if TKO can't make those changes to the Ali Act, will you still invest in the sport of boxing? Will you compete in the market?
Listen, if you want to be an asshole, let's do it in private and we can do an interview.
Yes or no?
If you want to showboat,
He's not an asshole.
I get it. If you have questions for these 2 that are fighting on Saturday, that's a different story.
Fight.
This isn't a discussion to have at a press conference for these 2 that are going to fight on Saturday,
I
2
disagree.
legends. If you want to set up an interview with me and ask me these questions, let's do it one-on-one.
Sounds
and
good.
You can ask me anything you want.
All right. Well, Terrence and Saul, have a good fight.
Yeah, do you have a question for these 2?
No.
No? Beat it. Go ahead. Who's next?
Wait.
That's the state of, combat sports.
Yeah.
If you want to be an asshole, whoa. Hold on. I'm an asshole for asking questions about fighter pay and the Ali Act? You're the most famous promoter up there. When should I do it? Well, you should do it and set up a private interview. Really? Are you really going to take that interview? The answer is no. The answer is absolutely he will not give that guy access to him. So that's, that's where we're at. Good on that. I don't know who that young man is who asked that question, but fucking good for you, bud. Yeah. You'll never work again, but good for you.
I looked him up. He's a younger dude, and apparently, he is, fairly respected. So, but that's pretty ballsy to do in front of the Dana to ask these questions.
This is what's crazy. I agree with you. For us to even say that's ballsy.
Mm-hmm. It's just
10 years ago, that's normal fucking journalism, man. That's how off the fucking reservation we've gone. Because we're used to fucking, some girl with big tits going, Dana, you're the best. That's your question? Yes. And they're like, fuck yeah, dude. Dana, dude, I love Power Slap. And he's all, thank you. That's how far we are off the fucking reservation. Where it's like, dude, check out the balls on this kid. That's a normal journalist. That kid, good for him, but it's not like this is it mind-blowing. That's what's so crazy. And what's crazy is I bet you he doesn't get access or journalistic access anymore. And he knew that doing it.
Yeah.
There you go. Stop being a bootlicker. This mindset is why we have shitty reporting at every UFC event. Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, some people were just saying like, yeah, why would he do it at this event? Like, do it somewhere else. But then
Because they can't.
yeah, to get an interview with Dana, I'm sure is going to be very, very, very difficult.
Oh, no, it's not even difficult. It's not happening. Dana's not going to sit down with this young kid. He might be a grown man. Sorry, dude. He's not going to sit down with him, give him access, and go over the Ollie Act. And his question's great. Hold on. So if you can't make changes to the Ollie Act, which actually protects boxers and fighters, if you can't make those changes, are you still going to invest heavily in boxing? It's a great question. It's also a normal question anybody following the sport would love to ask. It's also what journalists should be asking, but they're not allowed to. This guy's not going to get access anymore. It sucks. And my question for everybody watch the show, that's what we want? That's what you want, I guess. It's not good. It's a shame that this kid's going to get banned.
Hopefully he doesn't. We'll find out.
He will for sure. And if this was in fucking the Middle East, he probably wouldn't come back. You know what I'm saying?
Just went missing, dude.
Yep.
Okay, so this is also Dana White talking about the three biggest boxing fights in history, and I'll just play the clip.
You boxing guys out there don't want to talk crap and talk all your smack. 3 of the biggest fights in boxing history: Pacquiao Mayweather, McGregor Mayweather, and now Crawford Canelo. I've been a part of 2 of the biggest 3 fights ever in the history of boxing. Suck on that one, boys. And
He said he was a part of it, right? So a part of it. And
I'd ask him what part he had in this Terrence Crawford Canelo fight. Like, I saw him between them during the press conferences. There wasn't anything new. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like the countdown show, any of that shit. It's standard boxing protocol. So I didn't see anything new. Yeah, it's weird to take credit for that. But
I mean, he's not lying that he's a part of it.
Mayweather Conor, I guess I would give him a little more grace because he did have the open mindset to allow Conor to do that and negotiate the deal. So the only one I give him credit for is Canelo. I'm sorry, is McGregor Floyd. Yeah. The other 2, it doesn't make sense.
And this is Eddie Hearn's take on all of that.
I love Eddie Hearn.
He says that 3 of the biggest fights
He's
in the history
great.
of boxing, he's been involved in 2 of them. What do you want to say about
one of them was Mayweather McGregor. I mean, that's not one of the biggest fights in the history of boxing. That's an exhibition fight, as far as I'm concerned. And Canelo against Crawford's not even his fight. It's Turki Al-Sheikh's fight, and he got invited to be the promoter. So, not sure. But listen, as I said, I don't think we're going to be going backwards and forwards. He also said that he respects me and he likes me a lot, and the feeling's very mutual.
But the competition is there.
I want the competition. And when I say, I saw in an interview, he said, Eddie Hearn said it won't work. I never said that. I said I think the league can work, but I don't think it's anything different. I don't think it's going to revolutionise the sport.
Yeah, I don't think you can.
So, yeah, I look forward to the challenge. And, the fact that I'm seen as the major competitor to Dana, me and him, it's great for my profile. And don't forget, you can watch my new show on Netflix on Wednesday.
He says that
Eddie Hearn's great.
It's not how tall he is. He's fucking crazy.
Was he 6'4"?
No, it's like 6'6" or something.
No, Eddie Hearn?
Let me double check.
No
Okay.
way. Pretty sure
6'5".
He's that big. Damn, he's 6'5".
Yeah. He's super tall.
Wow.
That's him next to Joshua.
That's cool. Yeah, he's fucking big. I didn't realize how big he is.
Yeah, I didn't.
His dad was a big promoter. That's how he got involved. I love Eddie Hearn. I want to compete against Dana White. I want to prove that I'm much better than him as a box promoter.
And then
I've been part of the 2
thing.
biggest 3 fights ever in the history of boxing. Suck on that one, boys. Yeah, weird.
We already saw that. Okay. This I thought was just whoever did the slow motion thing is cool. So I'll just show you this. This is
It's where he turns his head.
yeah, and he's like,
all,
"What the freak?" Yeah, Canelo getting
yeah.
punched in the face by Crawford.
Boom.
From Terrence Crawford. Canelo's going to fight. He's a warrior. Down the stretch we come.
Yeah, Canelo's chin's fucking bananas. Top 3 in combat sports history.
All right, here's some just random ones here. So Jared Gordon, he fought this past weekend and he lost. But however, Bilal Muhammad said that he was in a car accident. Someone hit him with his car
Fuck.
Like,
popped his knee out,
and he wouldn't pull out of the fight. So, obviously that's going to mess up his fight.
Jesus Christ.
But, yeah, he's a badass.
Good for him. Terrible timing.
Mm-hmm. Yoel Romero debuted in BKFC, and of course he won, and he looked jacked as hell. This is it, right?
That boy needed money bad. Yeah, whoever let Yoel fight BKFC got to go to jail. In all sincerity, why the fuck would someone willingly fight Yoel Romero with no gloves? I agree, dude. There's
48 years old.
Yeah, okay. There's not enough money to fight him in bare knuckle.
There's some updates to this whole White House stuff. The UFC at the White House. So this is Dana White saying he's going to start making the White House card. Wait, hold on. I'll start making this White House card in February. So if it all plays out that way, Conor can be on that card. Conor McGregor has been that guy throughout his entire career. So he's actually saying Conor will be on that card.
Yeah, and Conor just pulled out of the presidency of Ireland, so
yeah, that's
hopefully he
another
starts focusing on fighting more. I always told you guys from the jump, you're going to get Conor or John or both of them. Like if they want to make this a historic card, you need those two. If you just give, the hardcores, we can come up with a card that's going to fucking check the boxes for us. But in order to get the casuals, it's on CBS at the White House, you need John or Conor or both. I think you get both. I think you can get both. I think you can get both on there. Dana's playing hard to get right now with John, but I think eventually you get both of them. Mm-hmm. Sure as fuck, I guarantee you get at least one of them. You have to. And to make it like historic, you'd have to have one of those involved.
And he always mentions like Conor's never, when Conor says he's going to do something, like actually do something, he always comes through. I don't know about the Chandler thing. I forgot what the reason why that didn't go. Was it an injury or something? Something happened. But whenever Conor had promised him he would fight, he always fights. So he has no problem with that. But this is what he said about John Jones on Jim Rome's show.
But I'm never worried about Jones not being clean for performance-enhancing drugs. I'm not worried about that. My thing about John is the crunch time. In the crunch time, bad things always happen leading up to the fights and all this stuff. Can I count on John Jones? He says all this, and I think he's like, he knows John so well, he's almost testing him. Like, I don't think he can.
I'm with you on
Tell
that,
John he can't, and he's fucking going to do it. So he's like, nah, he ain't going to do it. John's like, okay, watch. Yeah. You're going to get John and Conor on the White House card because you need that in order to get maximum eyeballs and get the casuals over, especially Conor.
And if John falls through, like if some crazy thing happens and he doesn't show up, the fact that if Conor actually, he should be there.
Conor will overshadow all of this.
So it's still going to be a good card. It'll still be great. And this is Dana talking about how John Jones texted him an apology.
Dana reveals John Jones' apology text, but still won't be on the UFC White House. I disagree. Yeah. He goes, I know who they are. I know who they are not. People you can rely on. Yeah.
I'll just play the clip for you.
You said John Jones called you, and he apologized. What was that conversation like?
Well, it wasn't a conversation. He reached out. He wrote like a text saying, listen, sorry how this all played out or whatever. I want to fight at the White House. I'm serious about that. Just one of those type of.
Has that changed your view?
No,
not at all. No. So there's no chance he's going to be.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate him reaching out and doing that. But I need people I can count on for this fight, and I know who they are. I know who they are not.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he's playing the game.
Yeah, he didn't definitively say like, no, he's not allowed to be on the card. He's just like. Yeah,
I think the card's going to be so loaded that Dana's going to load it up so much where if something were to happen where John the week of or 2 weeks out disappears, it doesn't matter.
Dude, if Conor's on there, who gives a shit?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Alrighty. Let's go here. Sean Strickland. And I try to find out where this was held at, but I couldn't find out. So if anyone knows, please let us know. But Sean Strickland confronted that guy, Derek Moneyberg, the guy that, got his black belt in jiu-jitsu in like 3.5 years, and just pretty much called him out. I shall play you the clip here.
The ball's on Sean, man.
Yeah.
Look what I ran into. This guy's real big, real jack. He says, why do I call him a scumbag on there? This is why I asked him. And again, you could say
So you got to do that for camera. You can't have a private conversation like an adult. You can only do things for the internet. You can't have a private conversation.
what I have to say is factual, and you guys.
It's not factual.
So again, let me
I love how
tell you
Sean takes his bag off just in case some shit pops off.
Yeah, sure.
He's all,
Right? Pay me money for
But
it.
yeah, but Sean, when I just asked you, hey, have a conversation.
Well, you asked me why I called you a scumbag.
Then you
And
need to
I-
have your
well,
camera.
no,
You can only talk on the internet.
But I'll tell you
can't
why.
have a
But I'll tell
conversation
you
on
why.
the
I'll tell you why I called you a scumbag.
Only on the internet.
But I'll tell you why I called you a scumbag.
You're the one being the fucking scumbag right now.
No, I'll tell you why.
I'm saying it to your face.
I'll tell you why.
You're the one being the fucking scumbag right now.
I love my fans more than anything, you guys. And would I love to go take free money from this guy and peddle? Yeah, I would. Would I love to make free money from this guy? I would. I absolutely fucking would. I fucking would love to. But this man takes advantage of low-paid UFC fighters who are great men who are just trying to make their mortgage and live a life. And he takes advantage of these men and he uses their platform to peddle financial scams and he sues people. And what he does is so dishonest and so scummy that no, I will not. Just because you're nice and you shake my hand and you say you're my buddy, no. You are a fraud. You are dishonest. You fraud people. This is why you don't want to be on camera, because you know everything I say is true. You sued your people. I will never peddle his shit to you guys because I love you guys, man. Financial advice is easy. It's easy. Invest in solid mutual funds. Have a high yield account. You can buy individual stocks, but it's risky. I wouldn't recommend it unless you really pay attention. Real estate also risky. Your best real estate investment is going to be your first house when interest rates are better. But you are a scumbag and you're a fraudster. And the fact that you can't have this conversation on camera because you know everything I'm saying is true. And you won't use my platform or my name to peddle your shit to my followers. Ain't happening, dude. Go scam somebody else.
Well, first of all, this is why we love Sean Strickland. But first of all, his advice on financial investing is spot on.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, spot on. Yeah, it's great.
Even real estate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's a little off on real estate, but he's right. The first house will be your best investment. He's right about that. I always lean towards real estate in my stuff. But when it comes to Moneyberg,
Yeah.
what fraud stuff has he done? So the business side, I don't know. Can you look that up? Just type in what, because I don't know. Do we know if any of that's true?
Let's see. Multiple online sources allege that financial coach and entrepreneur Derek Moneyberg, whose real name is Dale Bukowski, operates a fraudulent scheme. He faces accusations of financial scams, deceptive business practices, and fabricating credentials. YouTuber Spencer Cornelia, who investigated Moneyberg, beat a defamation suit filed against him by Bukowski. So it seems like there's a few things here. Selling generic courses. I don't think that's fraud, though. Demanding video testimonials. So that I see him doing.
The demanding video testimony?
Yeah, like if you did something I do, put it online, say like it worked and this and that, whatever. So
targeting, according to some reports, Moneyberg specifically targets and exploits financially struggling mixed martial arts, sells courses.
But the ones that we saw, they're not really struggling, right?
Misleading promotions. Moneyberg allegedly pays well-known MMA Brazilian athletes to appear in his sales pitch to boost his credibility.
Yeah, but that, most people do that anyway. That's a business.
Yeah.
But this stuff, the fake black belt, yeah, that's kind of weird. Oh, tax evasion, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
I
who knows?
don't know. I don't know the guy. I definitely obviously question his black belt from my years of experience in jiu-jitsu. I don't know.
Yeah, that sounded weird too. Okay.
Sean's such a savage. I love how he takes the bag off just in case shit pops off. That's my favorite part of the video. He goes, hold on real quick. I don't have this bag.
And it's just funny. He's confronting.
He's like, oh, no, hold on, you let me talk. And he put his back down. He's like, bud.
And he's in the background. He's like, yeah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
This
that
guy's
guy-
a piece of shit.
Yeah,
He's just like,
Moneyberg does not want those problems.
that's funny.
He's hilarious.
So Gable Steveson finally made his MMA debut at LFA 317. And he, of course, won.
Dropping major bombs. Huge shots. Braden Peterson hanging on. But for how long? Gable in.
Here's what people should realize about Gable Stevenson. So you can stop it. His ground and pound's great. You know, the level of competition's suspect. But Gable Stevenson is just people aren't going to like this, but he's a better version of Brock Lesnar. What he doesn't offer is Brock's star quality. But as far as credentials go, like wrestling, tried out for the NFL, didn't make it, but his wrestling credentials are better than Brock Lesnar's. Like gold medalist, heavyweight. So he fought once in LFA. His next fight should be in Dana White Contender Series, and then they should build him up on there, 3, 4, 5, 6 fights, get the ratings going. He's just going to annihilate everybody on there. Nobody's going to be able to compete with him. And then you put him in the UFC. I would be willing to bet, especially because the heavyweight division's so weak right now, if he can just navigate the striking where he's not getting knocked out, he's going to beat probably half the top 10 guys right now just with his wrestling pedigree.
Just that alone.
That alone's going to be a fucking issue.
Alrighty. Oh, I don't know if you saw this in the news, but Ricky Hatton, very famous boxer.
Do we know why? He wasn't old. Do we know?
No. So
no one has any clue?
Yeah, as far as I know, the cause of death is not, we don't know what the cause of death is. But yeah, 46 is
46, you would assume dark shit.
Yeah.
Right? Drugs or self-inflicted.
Yes. That's what I would imagine.
Super sad.
And this is before his scheduled comeback, which I don't know why he wanted to even come back, but.
Yeah, it's horrible, man. Between him and Charlie Kirk. Dude, I'm glad I'll talk about it on Fire and Kid.
Yeah.
I'm glad we didn't have shows Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I was so upset. I would have said things that would have not been good.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it with Brian.
That was one of the most gruesome killings I've ever seen.
Yeah, I was fucked up. The only thing I posted was my kids yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
But I just stayed off social media for those days.
And then, I'm sure we're talking about Fire and Kid, but then seeing his family, it's just so fucked up. The family was there. Like, what the fuck?
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah. All right, back to the fights. Sean O'Malley versus Song Yadong is in the works for UFC 323.
It's a great fight. UFC 323, when is that?
Don't know. December 6th.
Okay. That's a good fight for Sean. I hope Sean finds his way.
That's a really good fight.
Great fight. Sean wins that fight, I think. Sean still has that dog in him. He wins that fight.
This one's not a big deal, but Darren Till said, I think it was on Ariel's show, that it's 75% done, him versus Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate's giving me some trouble with Darren Till, man.
I think the same thing. That's why this is Andrew Tate's. Well, first of all, he tweeted this, and then Darren Till responded. But then
Andrew Tate said, "I've got a lot of experience in beating up Scousers. I smashed 2 of them to pieces in the playground on New Year's Eve 2017. Then fucked some girl in the Hilton. Okay, she probably accused me of human trafficking somewhere." Darren Till, but that's a really cool story, mate. Are we fighting or not? My team have already reached out to your team. I just want to know if the top G alpha of all alpha is game. Simples. Get back to me ASAP, my G.
That's how hold on. There you go.
He put, Darren, I think you're hilarious. Always enjoyed your antics and humor. Also seen your career and respect it. You're well liked in my circles. The fight would be great. I understand fighting me is life-changing money for you, not me, but there's no need for name calling. I really don't like all that clown shit and being rude, etc. We're both professionals here. Find it rude, and if that's the way you're trying to get the fight, it won't happen. I'm the superstar here. Talk nicely, and I'll reply to your team's desperate messages. Yeah, if I'm Darren Till, I just go, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever you want, man. Oh, yeah, I'll bend the knee. Oh, no worries, mate. And as soon as that fight's signed, Darren Till is Darren Till. Listen, that's a tough fight for Andrew Tate.
I think that's why he wrote this. Like, this is kind of like, I don't want to fight you.
He's like, if you're going to talk to me like that, I'm not fighting.
Yeah.
If you want to fight, he's going to fight. But I don't know why Andrew Tate, if he's going to come back and fight, why you'd fight Darren Till. That'd
Especially
be a
now.
bad idea.
Yeah.
But for Darren Till's sake, I hope it fucking happens. Does that, would you, if you're Darren Till and you have 2 contracts, one's Jake Paul, one's Andrew Tate, which one do you take?
Fuck, that's a damn good question. Because Andrew Tate's
Massive.
humongous. But
Is he
Jake
bigger
Paul,
than Jake, though?
So, but Jake Paul's
But we've
into
seen
fighting.
Jake.
Yeah. Andrew Tate, I would say.
I take Andrew Tate.
Yeah. I'd be more excited. We'll save that for Fight on the Kid. But let's see this. This is hopefully it's still here. Give me a sec. This is Dominic Cruz talking to
Mighty
Demetrius
Mouse?
Johnson about fighting him. I'll just play the clip for you though, so it's better.
You and
Damn
Dana
it.
gave me a GTR for that fight, right? And I remember I fought you, and Dana gave me a GTR for that fight, right?
Yeah, but I never got nothing. I never got
I
nothing.
got lucky, but I had to fight you notice after
Mhm.
fighting Uriah Faber back
Pause
to
it.
back on Versus.
I'm
that nobody
pretty sure. I mean, Dominic would know better. I'm pretty sure he got the GTR for doing the Ultimate Fighter.
He's saying otherwise here. But let's watch.
nothing.
I never got nothing.
I got lucky, but I had to fight you on 1 month's notice after
Mhm.
fighting Uriah Faber back to back on Versus that nobody was going to watch. And they're like, all right, we'll give you a GTR if you do this.
Yeah.
I remember winning that, and I still lived in this 1-bedroom studio. That was when I had the most money to my name now, because the car itself was more money than I had anywhere near my account my entire life. The car was worth about
6 figures.
about 125 grand.
Yeah.
So I just get that.
Low
in a
6
minute, and
figures.
I'm like, do I sell it? I'm
I'm pretty sure he still has it.
I'm like, is it stupid to keep this? I'm pulling it up to this 1-bedroom studio. I'm in a back house behind somebody's house. Like
Yeah.
I'm using their laundry machine. I share laundry with this family in front of me.
Yeah.
I'm sharing everything. Like, and I'm pulling up in a GTR. They see
They're-
me
they're
pull
like-
up. They're like,
They were gonna up your rent.
they
dropping
did.
at 6.
They upped it. They upped it
did?
$100.
Ah,
I was paying $700 a month.
Yeah.
What a gift. I couldn't leave.
Yeah.
$700 a month in California.
Dude.
Shout out to them, by the way.
Yeah, you're not gonna find that anywhere in the world right now.
Yeah, I remember. I think Dom. I don't know if he still is. I'm speaking out of turn here, but he was trying to sell that GTR. I remember a few years back. I thought about buying it, and it's like, you earned that through fighting. I feel gay driving a car that the UFC gave you for fighting Mighty Mouse. You know
why?
Because if the UFC gave me a car, then I sold that as a fight. I was just a casual. That makes sense. But as another UFC alumni, it just felt a little weird.
Oh, I understand.
I
the
do want a
weird part,
GTR, but not that one. And I love Dom.
Yeah, it's cool. He takes really good care of his car too.
Hell yeah, he does.
All right, so there's been talks about Hector Lombard potentially doing the power slap, and because he went to remember the combine. There's a power slap combine to train slappers, so he attended it. So that's why it seems like he's going to be competing in it sometime this year. And this is him pretty much talking about that. Hold on,
I love Hector Lombard.
He's scary as hell.
It would be interesting to see him in that.
Oh yeah.
Amazing trip I just had. Came back from Vegas.
Is he like
it was
walking on a
amazing.
highway?
The Power Slap family, baby. These guys are great. Humble people, beautiful people. So all of you guys, thank you. And also thank you to Frank, to Donna White. You guys building an amazing company. And as I said before, Power Slap, baby, is going to be the greatest sport all times.
Oh wow. I hope he gets paid and does power slap. Who
Dude,
the
he'd be
fuck's gonna get
freaking,
slapped by him?
So do you remember this? This is when Lorenz Hunt, who was like, I think he might be champion right now in BKFC. He walked up to Hector Lombard. After Hector Lombard won his fight, and I'll just play it.
Hector Lombard's a wild boy, dude.
Very, very well. See that image right there?
Yeah, you don't want
Hector,
these boys.
Lorenzo Hunt in the ring. Oh, shit! And don't break it up the
dude.
fight, right?
The stories of Hector Lombard at AT&T are legendary. You don't
Really?
fuck with. Oh, buddy, dude, buddy. Yeah.
I remember that story. I don't know if you said it. Someone said like, there's a girl involved or something.
He's a monster in a good way.
All right. Oh. So remember Patricio Pitbull was supposed to fight, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, whatever.
Yeah, and homeboy fell out.
Yeah, this is him begging for, this is behind the scenes in the locker room, him begging for Patricio to fight him. And Patricio is just like,
You're not having it?
nah. And I'll just play it for you.
It's my fault. You gave me everything you could. So please. It's my, I fucked it up. I know I even though I put it there. The only thing that gets it, please, it's my life. It's my, I've been waiting for this call all my life. Normally, I don't even talk to my phone like this.
He's asking why you make him feel about him.
Because I can't, I'm not sweating. We try everything. I'm not sweating no more.
Já perdeu, não tá 3 pounds acima, o cara não vai.
I try.
So at this point, he still has an hour or so.
I can't.
Okay, that's fine. Okay.
I can't. This is my life. I just want to fight. I didn't fought like 1 year. Please.
I gave you all the vanity, but I can't give you this vanity of the way.
It's only 1 kilo.
I can't do
It's
this.
only 1 kilo.
No.
Please don't take this.
No. You take it off. Not me. That's your fault. You said that.
You can even take half of my money. I don't care.
That's your fault. That's your fault. Not mine.
Don't do this. Don't do this.
That's not about me. It's about you.
Bro, you are a fighter. You are a fighter.
I'm a fighter, but I'm professional.
I know. Okay, this
I'm
time
145 now.
I never miss weight in my life. You know that I never miss weight in my life.
You're the deal in UFC against me.
That's you know how it's deep. You know.
You have 1 hour and a half to try.
I can't. If I can't, I
can do.
could.
You're strong.
I'm showing
You're strong,
weakness.
young.
I'm showing
Younger,
weakness.
stronger, faster.
I'm showing weakness here, and this guy is even filming it. But I'm still showing weakness.
You go to the lightweight. Go to the lightweight.
I might go. If I have more time, I can take featherweight. I can make featherweight easy. It's my fault.
What do you think? Because I mean, I'm with Patricio. Because look at Patricio's his face. He's drawn out too. He had to freaking make this crazy cut. And this guy wants to fight. He said you could take half my purse, but you know that's not even like, I don't know if that's even legally possible.
It's not. I think 35% if you miss weight they agreed to, but they could have a side contract. You know, not legally through the commission, but it's like, tough, right? Like it's a young kid, short notice fight.
That's the thing.
He missed the weight. Yeah. He's like, just give me the opportunity, man. The other thing is Patricio Pitbull's look terrible in the UFC, and so for him, it's like, buddy, you're the young lion, faster, and stronger, you get your debut against me, and you can't make weight. Like, nah, man.
Yep.
I'm already going out on a limb here to fight you. It'd be a tough fight for Patricio too. So, I don't know. It sucks to see.
Yeah.
You know, we can sit back and be like, oh, this is fucked up of Patricio, but still as a businessman, he's like, nah, hell no. Because I lose one more, I'm probably getting cut. Because they're paying him a lot of money. And his fights haven't been great.
Yeah.
I get both sides. I would have liked to see him take the fight, but I get it.
I lean more towards Patricio because he's a professional.
Yeah,
he did it.
I get it.
But
it's like, God, come on.
You're right, because it was a short notice.
Help him out, man.
Yeah.
It's his debut. Like, he's trying to get started.
And you already touched on
But also
this.
make weight.
Of course, yeah. But you, like you said, that's the number one thing that the UFC cares about. So this is you touched on this already, but this is Conor McGregor officially pulling out from the presidency.
Now, I had a dude in Ireland reach out to me because I think I said on Fighting Kid over here, like, I don't know how it works.
Yeah.
In Ireland, like, does the president like make all these changes? And he was like, dude, they're basically like just like a celebrity. Like there's somebody else makes the actual decisions. Like they
it's like the talking head.
Yeah, he's like, they don't have a lot of power. So what he's running for, like, he's not gonna be able to make all these changes. And they're like, and he's not gonna win. And I think Connor knows that, and that's why he's backing out. So follow careful reflection after consulting with my family. I'm withdrawing my candidacy from the presidential race. This is not an easy decision, but is the right one at this moment in time. While I will not contest this election, my commitment to Ireland does not end here. I will continue to serve my people by using my international platform to promote Irish interests abroad, strengthen our economic opportunities, and to advocate transparency, responsibility, and public life at home. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Pretty much all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is, this is so, I don't know how this popped up in my feed, but when you were walking in, this popped up in my feed. Some doctor wants to challenge John Jones.
My name is Nobu. I'm 49 years old doctor. I have saved lives, but now I want to fight with John Jones.
He's trying to end his life, or?
I don't have official records for fighting, but I have knowledge and discipline. And I'm so sure if we fight, I will win.
He's never fought before?
So until he says yes, I post every day. I'm coming for you, John Jones.
He might be mentally ill. I sure as fuck wouldn't have him as my doctor. Dude, if my
After
doctor...
this, yeah.
Bro, if my doctor was a heart surgeon, I needed heart surgery, and then let's say I'm going in for surgery tomorrow, and let's say it's my last show before heart surgery, and they're like, dude, you've seen your doctor? I'm like, what is it? And you play this video, I'm like, I'm not going to him.
Yep.
Like, he's delusional as fuck. He's lost his fucking marbles.
I have no idea what this is. Hopefully it's just a joke, but yeah, we saw some people that we know that commented.
Mike Perry's laughing. Mayhem Miller goes, you have to resuscitate yourself, bro. Yeah.
Anyways, I was just popped up. There's no fights that I could see that are coming up this weekend.
Yep. There's nothing, bud. That's all good. That's all good. If you guys are listening, watching this, listen, we added the Schaub Show ad free. If you're sick of the ads, you just want unfiltered, uncut, ad-free episodes, go over to the Fire and Kid Patreon. It's patreon.com/TFATK. That thing is booming. We should have done a long ass time ago. I'm sorry, but now we're back. It's rolling. Things doing way better than I could ever imagine. So I thank you guys. We just popped the new Q&A on there. It's probably 20 questions with me on there. Brian's next. You have extended episodes, all sorts of unfiltered footage on there, Q&As. It's the bee's knees. Go to patreon.com/TFATK. Get this show ad-free, Fire and Kid ad-free, 2 episodes per month, extended, longer. We get into the nitty-gritty stuff we can't show you that gets suppressed on YouTube. It's a grand old time. We should have done a fucking hot second ago, but we did it. But here it is. So if you want this show ad-free, go to patreon.com/TFATK. That's it. Love you guys. For the baseball dads out there, good luck this weekend. Tournaments are popping up. My son's first tournament's this weekend for his majors team. So, it's off to the races, kids. I'll see you guys at the field, or I'll see you next week. All right? Be nice to each other. Be safe. Love you. I'm out.